Web3.tv.
Just last week, Kanye West launched his own Memecoin, hitting a $3 billion market cap.
And crypto treasury stocks see pullback in August.
What does this all mean for you? We're here to break it down. I'm Adel Burton.
And I'm Lisa Amnegard, and you're watching Crypto TV. But first, let's take a look at the markets. Over to you, Krista.
Thanks, Lisa. Welcome back to Crypto Bubble's Weekly Outlook. Let's check what's heating up and what's cooling down across the markets. This week's weekly gainers OKB leads a charge with a 70.2% surge. Not far behind, Morpho popped 25.8% and Aave gained 16.9%. Momentum is strong and bulls seem to be in control here. On the flip side, some tokens took a beating. Hex plunged 17.2%, Sky Sleep 15%, and Baker dropped 15.2%. That's see red signals traders shifting to risk-off mode. That's your weekly snapshot from CryptoBubbles.net. Highs shining bright and lows reminding us to trade carefully. For the clearest picture, always zoom into the weekly time frame and refresh your tickers every Monday. Stay sharp, stay informed, and as always, watch those bubbles. I'm Krista Two Moons. Back over to you, Lisa and Adele.
Celebrity rapper Kanye West launched his meme coin called Yeezy on the Solana blockchain, which exploded to a massive $3.2 billion market cap in just minutes, but only to crash back down to around $147 million within hours. The token promised big things like Ye Pay and a Yeezy card for future crypto payments, but early warning signs were clear. Almost all tokens were held in just a few wallets, giving a small group huge control over the price. Reports say that certain insiders had cashed out early as they had insider knowledge about the token launch. There's no confirmation of a full-blown scam yet, but the red flags have many people questioning if this was designed to benefit only a select few. The question is Yeezy a serious long-term project with utility or just another celebrity cash grab?
Who knows? Next, after a strong summer, crypto treasury stocks that once soared are tumbling in August. Strategy, one of the first Bitcoin treasury firms, is down about 14% this month. CEA Industries, which spiked more than 500% in July, has fallen 28%, while Metaplanet, holding more than 19,000 Bitcoin, is down almost 30%. Even Trump Media has slipped more than 6%. The pullback comes as Bitcoin retreats from its mid-August highs of above $124,000. And crypto treasury stocks, often used as leverage exposure to crypto, are sliding right alongside it. But all names are not in the red. Ethereum and Solana-linked firms are outperforming. DeFi Development Corp gained 8% in August. Ethila is up 10%, and Bitmine Immersion Technologies, backed by Tom Lee and Peter Thiel, is up by 34%. But it's important to note that this is not an apples-for-apples trade and doesn't mean Ethereum or Solana are stronger than Bitcoin or other coins. Crypto has not historically been a public market story, and for many of these firms, this is the first time digital asset strategies are being tested out in the public market. For instance, Ethereum-based treasuries are riding fresh tailwinds from the passing of the Genius Act, rising institutional demand for stablecoins, and growing excitement around crypto-related IPOs. And that buzz has brought investors chasing the hype. Still, the challenge is separating hype from reality. Venture insiders say that firms most likely to make it are the ones with heavyweight backers or investors with real capital markets experience. That credibility, they argue, is what separates the handful of companies that can survive from the many that fade once excitement dies down. What do you think, Adele? These crypto treasury firms, do you think investors are coming down from the hype?
That's a good question, but I think, crypto works in cycles. It's not a one-time straight line process. It works in cycles. So this means that even if we happen to see some profits being taken, so some stocks or some prices falling, that's just investors cashing out and taking profits. But I will say we are still at a better level now than maybe we were before because the Trump administration is such a strong advocate for crypto and passing laws around it. The standard that we have now for crypto is much bigger than it was before. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, definitely. And I do see that, many companies now, they have been acquiring various types of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other coins. And this hasn't really been the same as previous cycles.
Yes.
So, companies are testing out the markets a bit. And we've seen, let's say, certain companies, they've just announced that they've acquired a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and just seen their stocks soar. So I think when it comes to crypto treasury firm strategies, it will come down to credibility, if you have a long-term view or strategy around it, and then also who's backing it. I think those three ingredients will determine which crypto treasury firms' strategies work versus the ones that are just riding the hype.
For sure. I agree with that, because who's backing it? Wyoming, for example, launching their own stablecoin, it's backed by the states. Peter Thiel and Tom Lee, which have invested in Ethereum, they're clearly backed by investors, and they have already good credentials, and they're investing in Ethereum. And recently, Bitmain became the world's largest Ethereum holder. So you are right that they're selective about which coin they invest in. So I would agree with that. But now, speaking about who is backed up by, Kanye West launching his own meme coin. What do you make of that?
Well, it was very interesting to see how the stock just tumbled very quickly. I don't know what these utilities were, YayPay or
An easy card, something like that.
What is that?
There needs to be more clarity around that. I think it was not made clear, and the fact that it tumbled very quickly, that goes to show that there probably is some questions around whether there is a long-term value here.
Yeah, definitely, which is quite interesting because Kanye West is a businessman, so you would think that he has some kind of strategy around this, but it does seem that perhaps he was just riding the meme coin wave like many other people have been doing. As we can see, the stock tumbled, so I don't know if there was a long-term strategy when it comes to this.
And I think this is inevitable. There's going to be players who want to ride the wave, who want to use their status to launch coins. But then there's going to be states like Wyoming launching their own stablecoin for the first time, which is clearly backed by the states, pegged to the US dollar. And only time will tell to see how the feedback goes on the stablecoin.
Definitely. And like many other companies launching their own stablecoins, it will be really interesting to see how this plays out in the public, whether people will adopt it or whether it will just become a digital token. But I definitely think that stablecoins are going to become much more part of our lives. I just read last week that around 30 crypto companies are urging the UK to launch their own stablecoin, not to fall behind the US or the EU or many other, Japan as well. They're launching their own digital yen as a stablecoin. So it's becoming a global story, and it's really exciting to see.
Only time will tell, but I'm definitely excited about it.
And that's all that we had for you today. My name is Lisa Amnegard.
I'm Adel Burton.
And you're watching Crypto TV.
Web3.tv